There is no way for me to accurately describe the geopolitical situation of Syria and the surrounding nations in a single video. But through this brief account of our experiences with the refugees on the island of Lesbos and at the Idomeni camp, I hope to give you an inside look into the situation and hopefully your own heart. The religious arena of the Middle East is extremely diverse and segregated. Unlike Christianity, where we have denominational differences, but are united by the love and freedom of Jesus Christ, Islam varies by the region. From moderates to ISIS, Shiites to Sunnis, the segregation is life-defining, and to move to a different region without changing your beliefs can be life-threatening. Millions are trapped in a religion of bondage. Not all refugees are from Syria. There are Iranians, Iraqis, Kurds, Afghans, and a myriad of other ethnicities. Some flee civil war, others flee religious persecution, but all are united by the hunger for freedom. Many of the refugees flee to Turkey and apply for asylum in Europe or America, but currently, the fastest UN program takes 6 years, during which employment is not allowed. Most do not have the means to support their families during that time, forcing most families to split up or to choose illegal immigration along the Balkan route, the path to Europe through Greece. It is those refugees that we served. Our squad was split into 2 locations, the island of Lesbos and the refugee camp at Idomeni on the border between Greece and Macedonia. Almost every non-governmental organization had left the island in protest of the worsening conditions and the inefficiency of the UN's registration process, but a few Christian organizations remain. Those who survived the 4-mile open sea crossing between Turkey and Greece are helped on shore by volunteers and are immediately given medical aid and warm clothes. All refugees are then taken by the Greek government to a detainment center in order to prevent the refugees from flooding into Greece. It was in these camps that we were the hands and feet of Jesus Christ.
They know about the border crossings. They know about what's happening in Hungary, about getting tear gassed and about getting stopped at a border. They know about boats crashing out here. Just yesterday, a boat was lost out at sea and people died. You know, almost every day one of these boats doesn't make it to shore.
Refugees know that Americans harbor fear and mistrust towards them, and they knew that we were Americans. Day after day they saw us serving them, spending time with them, getting to know them, and helping in any way we could. They would ask us where we were from and why we had left our homes and traveled so far to help them. They couldn't understand why we loved them so much. cannot share their names or pictures of their family, but I'd like to tell you the stories of a few of the families that we met. These families came through Lesbos and made their way to the northern end of Greece, but failed to cross into Macedonia before the border closed. Day after day they waited, not knowing what to do. Do they wait for the border to open? Do they go to one of the other camps? Were they going to be deported to Turkey? They didn't have any choice but to wait while political leaders worked on a solution. We became friends with them, and as often as we could, brought them from the camp to our hostel, where they were able to get showers, wash their clothes, and shop for supplies that were not available at the camp. They told us their stories, how their lives were stolen from them by the Civil War, and all they wanted was to resume their lives. One of them was a lawyer and explained to me how ISIS had confiscated his office and Assad's bombs were leveling the surrounding neighborhood. With no job and their home threatened, they had to leave. Another mechanic told me how his wife returned home in the middle of the day to find their apartment complex leveled, and they had to leave immediately, leaving their belongings and vehicles behind. That Sunday, we invited them to church and we gave one of them a Bible. Over the next few weeks, I never saw him without it. Finally, on the last day that we were in Greece, he joined us for church. That Sunday was communion. Our ministry host explained to him what communion was and what he would be proclaiming if he chose to partake. He did. I have since learned that they have begun having church, worship services, and baptisms at the camp, as those who have discovered the love that Christ offers are taking their newfound freedom to their family and friends. Those who were desperate for physical freedom are finding spiritual freedom. That is what this year is about. Not just spreading Jesus' love and the freedom that a relationship with him offers, but learning to walk in that love and freedom ourselves. All of us have been given love, freedom, and an identity as his son or daughter, and the world desperately needs what we have. You could be on the front lines fighting the effects of radical extremism, or dedicate your life to smuggling Bibles into some third world country, or simply loving the man in the cubicle next to you. Ministry can be any of these things. Ministry is simply walking in love, demonstrating his freedom, and loving those who persecute you. That's what this world needs most.